speaking of 9-year-olds and the middle schoolers and everybody, this revision history, which I found under the file menu, when I first show Google Docs, when I first show this collaborative tool set, I very early on show the revision history. And I do teach in a situation where I am much older than my kids, and
Much older.
yeah, I know, right? And it is a private school, and I'm going to also add in there it's a private Christian school. So I will kind of allow them sometimes to believe things about my ability or my authority that may be slightly exaggerated. But their parents are paying for that, so I feel like they should get their money's worth. I show them the revision history and I say, I can see everything you do.
And so can God.
Forever. So then I say to them, you type, and by the way, it saves every couple seconds. So when you're 9, this is the funniest thing in the world to do. When you're 9, especially if you're a boy, you will type the F word in a document and then basket's over.
To see what happens.
Even if no one else is in the document.
That's all right.
But Mrs. Ming is always in the document because I have revision history. So, by the way, I don't get like an email when they do that, but somebody in the group might look through or might have been in the document at the same time, and it's a little girl, and she says, I'm not cool with that. And so she tells me, and I go in the revision history, and yes, it was there. And then I pull them aside, and we make an example of them, and it doesn't happen again. But I show them the revision history right away, because remember the group of 4 that I was a part of in grad school, and one guy got away with like riding our coattails? We opened up the Google Doc and showed it to our department head and said,
Bam.
look at all the stuff I wrote, look at all the stuff she wrote, look at all the stuff this one wrote. Not much by this other guy. Keep going back through the revision history, you're going to see it. So basically I show the students, if you are a group of 4, we're talking 25%, 25%, 25%, 25% about in terms of your work or your task. You need to be able to defend the fact that someone's a really good idea creator, their grammar's kind of rotten. You came in and perfected the flow and how things sound, and
But
maybe they're
it's still gonna show an entry for every change you make.
But you came in and fixed that up. But you'll see those revisions, and the kids can go in and show you. He came up with all these ideas, but then I went in and made it clearer, and I made the grammar right, and we punctuated it, whatever.
I won't say this many times today, but here's something you got to write down. If you don't know who Mark Prensky is, find out. M-A-R-K,
Is it a K or a C? I'm trying to remember.
I think it's K, but you can check. M-A-R-K-P-R-E-N-S-K-Y. This would be the first document that my pre-service teachers read, would be adopt and adapt. Because it talks about moving from doing old things in the old way to new things in the new way. It is a process. And M-A-R-K, yeah, Mark, and it is C. And if you click on writing, and if you lose it, just email me. I love sharing Mark Prensky. Adopt and adapt, and then the other one is engage me or grade me. There are several seminal documents there that have changed EdTech. Engage me or grade me goes back to 2005 for me. I think it's 5 or 6. It's old. I read that a long time ago. But it gave me this concept, what I call the fun circle. And it was like you were alluding to. These kids don't have this schema that we're trying to be pre-service teachers. I always do technology from a fun point of view first. With my sophomore English kids, the first thing we Venn diagram is Big Macs versus double doubles. Because I want to separate the academics from the skill. I don't want them to have to do research for 3 weeks to be able to do a Venn diagram. Okay? And so this makes it a 10-minute lesson, but when I have sophomores that can't give me 5 similarities between 2 hamburgers, then I know where they're at skill-wise. I can't go jump straight into Chaucer at this point. So tomorrow, we'll do another quick Venn diagram with Miley Cyrus versus the Jonas Brothers, or something that also annoys them. But that's the way this goes on everything. The first time we do the big Google presentation, I find out somebody in our school that has a birthday today. And the whole class makes them a 30-slide presentation. Everybody does one happy birthday slide. And they don't realize there's no effective filter. They don't realize that we're learning a skill set. Then the next day I say, oh, guess what? I need everybody to find me a bad grammar picture on the internet and make a 40-slide presentation of that. And now I've got them. Because they're not able to do this. I don't like working this way. We're done. We already know how to work that way before they know what happened. It hits them before they're ready.
Shall I talk a little bit about Jobs List?
Sure.
Okay.
I think I'll do, how about if I do plagiarism right before lunch?
Okay.
Because I can do it in about 5 minutes.
Okay, so, if you've been, how many people have been using Docs and have a Docs list that has a bunch of stuff in it? Okay, so some of you, and I will say that as you begin to use this more, it's gonna start getting crazy. This is me, the teacher, and my students in grades 3 through 8, so probably about 300 kids, have Google Apps. And so they're sharing stuff with me, and apparently I opened this, that's why it's in here. This is files that were uploaded. I can't open these here, but kids can upload a file to their Google Docs and then share it with me. No more USB drives, which they forget at home anyway, or half the time
So I'll clarify that. They can upload up to 2 gigs of almost anything that's digital to Google Docs.
Can we do videos?
Yes. And in fact, the cool thing about
So the
videos
flash
is-
drive thing is less important, except if the file is quite large.
And that's that's what I've been playing with. If I have a video on my desktop and computer and drop and drag, it will go in as a valid file. Just give you a heads up, you gotta kind of go around.
Well,
Okay.
if,
The screen was just freaking me out there, but I see what's happening.
yeah.
Woo!
So like John mentioned, visual stuff, pictures and video files take up that limited space quickly, okay? But you mentioned sites, and we're going to talk about that later. John said about, let's get rid of trifold boards. Well, our 6th grade science teacher decided we will not have trifold boards for our science projects. He was inspired by the Google Science Fair. Each of his kids created a site. They had to make a video of themselves explaining their process for their experiment, and then they just uploaded the video to here. In their site, it says, insert video, Google Docs video, which means it lives in my Docs list. Grab the video from there, boom, it's on their page of their site. Super quick. So YouTube is blocked in my district. It isn't at mine, but oh, YouTube's blocked in my district, so I can't embed a YouTube file because, or a YouTube video because it'll be blocked. Have it right there in your Docs list, and then just embed it right to the site. So your Docs list can be instead of a USB drive. Okay? So you can see I've got a lot of stuff here, and after a while it gets to be kind of crazy. You will see that you have documents of all kinds, you have stuff that's been shared with you. A couple of tricks I like to show my students. Okay. I don't want to see all the stuff the kids have sent me. I just want the things that I have made. I click on Owned by Me.
Hey, there's stars too.
Yes, there's
I understand
stars
stars.
too. So like, for example, there's the middle school announcements. At my school, every morning, the homeroom teachers in middle school have to read the announcements. It is a document that we constantly update. That's one less tree we kill every year. Because that was going out in mailboxes every morning. I can't remember what the thing is, but I know that it was a presentation, and I know that it wasn't mine, it was shared with me. Now I can see all the presentations that were shared with me. So I'm just going to limit what I'm looking for and not get stressed out. Because I used to get stressed out by this list because, like I said, 300 kids sharing stuff with me. Yikes. So then I can't remember what it was, but I know it had something, and sometimes the search doesn't work as well as I'd like it to. It had something to do with the mission. My 4th graders today, while I wasn't there, were sharing with me their files that they created in Google Earth, just by uploading them. So I can go and look for those things. And then what's really handy is I can just have each kid create a collection. A collection is just a folder. Google likes to call things different things, okay? I create a collection and I have the kids name it based on what they are.
So for you guys, this could be spring semester,
Yeah.
or it could be stuff from Alice, or it could be Jody's request to the IT person. Doesn't matter, it's just another form of the good old manila folder. That's what a collection.
What works well for me, because this is primarily my middle school students I'm doing this with, what period do you have me, last name, first name, shared projects. Each kid has one folder. When they create, whoops, it's getting weird because John makes me zoom in all the time. Okay, so, scrolling, and next time we're using my computer. Okay, so when I make this folder, I just decide that from now until whenever, this folder will be shared with. And as a student, I add my teacher. In this case, I also have them add my co-teacher on Thursdays and my aide on Tuesdays, so they can just open these folders up and grade the stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to clarify that you're not making all the folders.
The students are.
They make the folder and share it with you using the correct terminology.
So now, when
So that becomes a homework hand-in box, right?
And by the way, I made a little step-by-step tutorial for the kids on how to create their shared folder. and it's super easy. So now you can see,
And this is another one of those things that you may not gain mastery of this concept while we're
That's
talking
okay.
together, but if the group says, can you make us a little tutorial and we'll send it to Jody? Easy, so don't stress on this part, it's only 3 buttons.
I would send you the tutorial that my friend sent me that he made, Dan Rizak.
Even better.
How I learned
Because it's
about
fun to
this 3
share.
months ago. So by the way, I wasn't born knowing this stuff. This I learned 2 or 3 months ago. And in that 2 and 3 months, I had all the kids in all of my middle school classes create their shared folders, which you can see here. Now, if I can't remember if Arjun gave me that file or not, I go to Arjun's shared folder and I look. And look, his group's place marks are already uploaded, I can go get them. So it's just a way of making it easy and no one's ever gonna say, my printer ran out of ink. Can I come in during recess and print? That
My
doesn't
dog ate
happen.
my flash drive.
Yeah. Oh, my flash drive's at home.
We don't have Windows at home.
Yeah. Oh, we use WordPerfect. Ew, who uses WordPerfect? Nobody, because we're in Google Docs. So this doesn't matter if you have a PC or a Mac, right in it, okay?
And
This is
then-
all platform independent.
And they can get them from these little things.
Yep. So I
What
just wanted
happens
you to
when
kind of
you
be
need
aware.
it's jammed full of material, what happens?
Well, you get 25 gigs. I remember I said I get 30,000 emails a year?
Right,
Let's
I'm
see
at
how-
7 gigs.
okay.
When you get to there, call me because we're going to take a long vacation.
So the 2 gigs was per upload?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
good point.
So that-
Yeah, any given file can't be more than 2 gigs, but you get 25 total. I was trying to see if I could see by.
But that's the other thing that changes is they're not sending you 200 meg PowerPoints anymore. They're sharing a presentation.
Exactly.
Or they're sharing something that you had them upload to YouTube, and they're just sharing you the link to that. So it's very manageable.
It's their space, right?
Right, it's their space, not your space.
Yes. That's the key to this shared folder.
Gotcha.
I don't have it in my list. I have the ability to
You
see it
access it.
Right.
in their list.
They share it with you. It's all offloaded to their account. You just see it. And we've been talking about portfolio teaching for a long time, but it's hard to get there. We are on the cusp of very, very, very easy, very, very high quality, very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? You can prove what kids are doing with revision history, right? Very authentic, very real, very state-of-the-art e-portfolios. If you want to do it, we're there. Now, it could be informal, and Google hasn't really had a thing called e-portfolio. But as you've seen, every tool is here.
Yeah.
You have the YouTube part, you have the presentation, the spreadsheet, the whole thing. Yes, ma'am?
I was outside and I missed it. Could you please show us how to get the revision history?
It is in the file menu when you are in a document. File revision history. See revision.
And actually, let's just do a quick review. So you go to revision history,
Okay, thank you.
and then there's really only 2 keys to it. Right here, you get a list of who has done what. And I always like to show detailed revisions, because it shows you moment by moment, and if you scroll down the document, when you click on a particular revision, the things that happened are colored. That's what Diane was alluding to. Yes?
Yeah, that revision history is real interesting when I'm working with students because when you're in the fishbowl, you don't really know how you do things. So actually, I've had students look at that not so they categorize them, so they can log in and see what they're doing. But it says, look how long it took you to do this. What were the parts? Because they feel, gee, I didn't get much done. I said, well, look, over this 20-minute period, look at
You
all
did a
the
half a
things.
paragraph, right?
Understanding their process and how they attack a problem is a big part.
Are we doing pretty good at this point?